Good morning. It's Monday the 24th of June 2024 and today I've returned to Alvington, my very first place of residence, and I must say it's wonderful to be back. Well, if you've been watching my channel for some years, you may remember that I came to Alvington 6 years ago, but I thought it'd be nice to come back today, do another walk. And so I used to live in this village. I won't say which house it was, but I lived in one of the houses on this street. So it's actually been really weird in a good way, that I've been staying in Alvington. I've actually stayed in the Globe Inn, so it's been wonderful, really good. So this is my room, and it really is a lovely room. Yeah, a nice decent sized double room. Because sometimes when I've stayed in places before and stayed in a double room, even double rooms can be quite small and pokey, but this is quite a decent size. So it's I've been very comfortable here actually. Yeah, really nice. I love the pictures on the wall as well. Pictures of the Forest of Dean. Yeah, and this is just like a little wardrobe. A little wardrobe in there. Light automatically comes on when you open the door. And then this is the shower room. Very nice shower room. Yeah, really nice. So, yeah, it's been a very comfortable bed. Of course, because it's been so hot these last few days, and it's continuing to be so for the next week or so, I've basically been lying on top of the bed for the most part during the nights, but yeah, it's comfortable. And here's the view from the window. I know you can only just sort of see the main road really, so yeah, looking down the A48, but the weird thing about it for me, and I mean weird in a good way, is I can actually see my old house from this window. I can actually see where I once lived. It's really bizarre. And I won't say which one it is, but it's one of those houses on the main street. Yeah, and when I first sort of checked in here on the first night and looked out the window for the first time, it was just like, wow, I can see my old house. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, a lovely room, and the Globe itself has been a lovely pub to stay in, very friendly, the food's been good, and I've met up with Heather and Tommy a couple of times and it was lovely to see you. So yeah, great stuff. I'll certainly stay here again, very much so. From the main road near the Blacksmith's Arms, I follow the lane towards the church. Well, sadly I'm unable to get into the church today. It would have been really nice to have gone inside Alvington Church. Oh well, never mind. It's a lovely spot anyway. I'll just carry on and wander around the village a little bit more, and then I'll just crack on with today's walk. So my mum and dad bought a house here in Alvington in the late 1960s, and yeah, and I was born in Gloucester whilst they were living here, so yeah, this was my first home. And even though we were only here for 3 years, I mean, Mum told me that we actually left here just before my 3rd birthday, but I've still got a few sort of vague memories. It's weird. I can even remember the layout of our cottage that we lived in. I remember the front door went directly into the lounge, and then there was like a kitchen sort of behind the lounge, and the stairwell was to the right of that. My bedroom, because I was obviously in a cot at that time, that was at the back, and Mum and Dad's bedroom would have been at the front. I can't remember the garden. I know there was a garden because I can remember, I've got this image of my dad making a snowman in the back garden. So yeah, I can't remember much apart from that. It's really weird. But I do have a few memories. You know, it's really weird. There's just a few images in my mind, really. Well, this building here, this has been empty for as long as I can remember. I think this was the village shop. I may be wrong, but I seem to remember this being the village shop. But yeah, for as long as I can remember, you know, even sort of when I was still living in the area, it was empty when I was still quite young. But I think this was the village shop, which was run by a lady called Mrs. George. And again, I can vaguely remember her. I always remember Mum saying that Mrs. George was very helpful to Mum when we were living in Alvington. Yeah, Mrs. George was the local shopkeeper, but I gather now that the local filling station doubles as a village shop. So, but yeah, just, it's weird, just these odd memories that I have in my mind after all this time. There's a nice beer garden too, and I've been sitting out having a few beers and that during my stay here. It's been really nice. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I would definitely come back to the Globe if I stayed in Alvington again. Anyway, I'll walk along Court Lane now and start my walk. There was a footpath off Court Lane, which was slightly hard to find, even with my OS map app, but I was helped out by a nearby friendly resident. After 1 mile, I re-emerged onto the A48 as I entered the village of Aylburton. So I've reached Aylburton, which is a village on the A48, midway between Lydney and Alvington. Well, there's a lot of information about Aylburton Cross. Fantastic. Well, I won't read it all out, but I'll just read one of the paragraphs here. The significance of Aylburton Cross. What you see beside you is all that remains of the Aylburton Cross, one of 3 unique medieval crosses, the other 2 being at Clearwell and Lydney. All 3 crosses were deliberately toppled during the English Civil War, 1642 to 1651, by the parliamentarian forces. Okay. I turn off the busy A48 again and walk up Church Road and see if I can get inside the church up here. No. Oh well, sadly not my day today for churches. Never mind. It's always nice to see a church on the outside. I started to follow a footpath beyond the church, but there was very overgrown vegetation blocking the way, so I had to retrace my steps into the village to find an alternative route. Well, that was a pain in the backside. That's 2 glitches already on this walk, and I've barely started it really. One of those things anyway. I mean, I'm on Chapel Hill now, and had that footpath been accessible, if I'd been able to get through, I would have come along here and joined Chapel Hill just here. Anyway, I wanted to get onto Chapel Hill at some point anyway, so I've just had to slightly deviate from the route that I'd originally planned, so nothing lost. I just hope that I don't get any more glitches. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure that'll be the last of it, he says with his fingers firmly crossed. I am on the right route now, but I did have to triple check back there. I think the problem is because these paths are so overgrown. I mean, look at this now. It's like a flipping jungle. So clearly not a lot of people use these paths. So it's very easy to miss the right path to take here. The neck. Should have brought a scythe with me. My God. Oh. Flippin' heck. My favourite saying, flippin' heck. I am so glad to be out of those woods. That was hard going. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's lovely. It's lovely around here. But these overgrown paths have made it tough going. When you look on the OS map, what you actually see in reality doesn't quite match. So, I mean, I know the paths are overgrown, but even where the paths go, if you're trying to follow the OS map, it's difficult. But anyway, I finally got here onto the road, which means I've got quite a bit of road bashing to do now, which is quite a relief for me, really. Just some quiet lanes, which will be nice, but at least this next section should be a lot easier. So yeah, hopefully an improvement from now on. I'm at a junction, so which way do I go? I have to decide. Well, I know which way I'm going, but now that I'm at this junction, I remember this part. A long time since I've been up this lane, but if you go up there, that eventually takes you into Bream. You can get to St Breville's, as the sign says too, but I'm going this way. I'm going in the direction of Alvington, and this way does take you to Alvington, but you can also get to Woolaston this way as well. So I'm just climbing up here for a short way. But one thing I will just say whilst I think about it. Oh, there's a car coming. Hello. I have met some very friendly people today. Let that car go by. Yeah, I've met some really friendly people. Despite the problems I had earlier with trying to find a lot of the footpaths, I have met some lovely people today, really lovely. There's a few that recognise me from YouTube, and I'm really sorry I didn't catch your names. I should have asked your names, and I hold my hands up. Apologise for not doing that. But it was lovely to meet you and talk to you for a little while. But I did meet Paul today. Paul knew who I was, and it was nice to meet you too. Oh, there's another car coming down behind me, I think. So yeah, it was good to meet you, Paul, and have a little bit of a chat with you. Just let this car go by. So yeah, it's been lovely. I've met some super people today, and it's been an absolute pleasure talking to all of you. And the day's not over yet. I turn off here again at this junction and follow Rodmore Lane for a bit. Turning left at a public footpath sign, I went right at the next junction to follow a path leading past the splendid Clanna ponds. Well, I have to admit, this is the first time I've actually been to Clanna Ponds. What a lovely spot. I can't believe I never came here before. I used to cycle around all the lanes nearby as a kid when I lived in Chepstow, but I never came to Clanna Ponds. Shame on me. Oh well, there's a very strategically placed bench here, so I'll sit down and have my lunch. Yeah, what a lovely spot. And I've only really sort of heard about Clanna ponds in, well, I mean for quite some time now, but in much more recent times than all the years I've known the Forest of Dean area. But yeah, I'm glad I finally got here today. What a wonderful little spot, and certainly less touristy as well. So, right, okay, I'll eat my lunch and then I'll get on. After my lunch, I continued beyond the ponds along the path, which emerged onto Barnage Lane, along which I went left. I'm back on the lane again now, and I've reached a crossroads. So, up there, that'll take me to Hulesfield. Down there, that takes me to Woolaston Common. And down there takes me back to Alvington. So I'm going to be walking down this way towards Alvington, but I shall be sort of taking a bit of a detour before I reach the village again later. So, okay, I'm on the last leg now really. Okay, I'm approaching another road junction now, and this one is a very familiar one from my childhood days. Yep, here we are, the old crossroads I remember. I don't know why, but it was another of my childhood quirks, but for some reason I used to call this Clanna Crossroads. Well, because this is Clanna Lane, and then Clanna Lane becomes Clanna Road, which comes out in Alvington right by the Globe. But yeah, I've even got photos of this crossroads from years and years ago. I don't know why. Another of my childhood quirks, but yeah, they're not very good quality, but yeah, I've got a few photos of this crossroads. Yeah, it's weird, I think, because again I just seem to remember this junction from when I lived in Alvington. As I said earlier, there are a few sort of images in my mind that I can remember from when I lived in Alvington, and I just, for whatever reason, I've got an image in my mind about coming through these crossroads. So, and that would have been, as I say, up to the age of 3, so it's weird sort of things that you do remember. Anyway, it's nice to be here, but yeah, I'm not going to go towards Alvington now. I'm going to turn off this way. Just take a little bit of a detour, and I'll get back to Alvington a little bit later. I walked along Spout Hill, then in half a mile I went over a stile on the left. So there's Swan House Tea Room. Closed today, sadly. I was really looking forward to a cup of tea in there. Never mind. Closed Mondays. I can actually remember that when it used to be a pub years ago. It was called the Swan then. Okay, well, I'm back at the main road, so I'll just make my way back up into Alvington. Before walking back into the village centre, I turned right along Knapp Lane, then over a stile, taking a path across a field towards something I wanted to see. This is why I chose to come this way before going back into the village centre. Get some great views of the River Severn from here. And I think these are the best views I've had today. Isn't that lovely? Some nice houses along here as well, which will really be able to take in the views. Wonderful. Okay, I will walk back into the village now then. It's been lovely again, despite the problems I had on the first part of today's walk. There, never mind. But the rest of the route's been lovely. It's been a lovely walk, and it's been great going to Clanna Pond for the first time. Can't believe I've never been there before, as I said earlier. So, but no, I've been having a really lovely time here in Alvington, apart from today's walk. As I said, I've met some lovely people, very friendly people, and as I say, the Globe Inn has been a lovely place to stay. And I think also, it's been really nice finally meeting up with you, Heather and Tommy. Finally. It was lovely. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. So I hope it's not too long before I see you again. All the best to you.